Hello everyone, it's Sandra Embleton. How is everybody doing? I am just going to give you a little bit of an update about what I was doing this summer. I have a lot of you who are following me now, and I guess I want to say that I had a pretty good summer. I go on vacation up north, and the place where I go, I rent this cottage, and it's actually the cottage I talk about in my book, The Day That Oprah Came to Visit My Garden. And I was up there again this year, and what makes it so phenomenal is when I go up there, there's a natural fairy circle at this cottage, which is incredible because I hang my hammock in this fairy circle, and the energy that comes into that circle, the elves, the fairies. I'm learning more and more about this. I'm reading up with Ted Andrews. He wrote Animal Speak, and he's also a very knowledgeable man in the native healing world, and so his guidance has helped me understand nature and how nature speaks to us. But so when I go up to my cottage, I like to be there by myself, and it's a very private time. But I really am into the native rituals, you know, of having a sacred circle, as many people are. Many people who do the drumming and the rattling and who are follow that kind of thing. Well, I too, I'm very much into that, getting in touch with native ceremony and bringing in the spirit of nature. So it was kind of funny because I'm laughing at myself. Before I went up, I've made friends with this native Indian fellow who lives here in Oakville. His name is Blake, and he's a real character. He's an older fellow now, but he's from the Turtle Clan, and I've learned a lot from Blake. And before I went up north, I went over to visit him, and I actually gave him a gift of my book, and so he traded back for me. So he actually traded this beautiful ceremonial wolf head that he passed on to me, that was actually used in ceremony in Hamilton Place with the Six Nations tribes. So he gave me this headpiece as a gift. Now, wolf is teacher, so I took this as a symbol to, or the meaning of it is that I'm moving back into teaching part of my life. Otherwise, wolf wouldn't have made his appearance. But I brought this home, and of course, I understand its spiritual meaning, but I took a lot of razzing from my family over it. Just so you know, I'm in that real world too. So I was sharing with Brian that when I went up to the cottage, I'm always attracting so many people to me, and what's been going on lately, before I went to the cottage, there was a lot of people coming to me from the time of King Arthur. Like King Arthur himself, I found Lancelot, and when I went up to the cottage, it was no different. I found people that were into, the worshiping of nature through paganism and different types of beliefs in the power of the earth and Mother Nature. And I think that's wonderful. I like to embrace everything and everyone's journey, because that's the power of being here, and the joy and the magic is that everyone has their own world, and it's yours to experience exactly the way you choose to. So just because we choose to walk a different path or explore this route or this route, this religion or this religion, or this belief or this belief, it does not mean that we can't all believe in the oneness and the power of the universal energy, the power of the one God force. It's just how it comes out through you. So I was amazed that as soon as I got up to the cottage and I met this wonderful lady, Cheryl, who's the Reiki master up there in King Pardon. She and I took an immediate liking to one another, and I was really led to this book called Myths of Avalon, which is all about King Arthur. So no sooner do I get up to the cottage and I've got Spirit giving me more information about King Arthur and Lancelot and Guinevere and all these major characters from the time of King Arthur, and I think, okay, this is crazy. This is all happening, and the book is really about a lot of it's about the goddess energy. So I'm going for a walk up at the cottage as soon as I get there, and I'm walking along the beach, and I looked down. I didn't pick up any stones, but I managed to pick up this little piece of wood. And on this little piece of wood, you can see it looks like the head of a woman. You've got the crown or the headpiece up here. You've got the heart in her third eye, and her eyes here, and her face. And I picked it up, and I thought, oh my gosh. I said, that's a head of a goddess. Look at that perfect heart on there. And I'm thinking, wow, is that ever cool? So I finished my walk, take it up, and usually I collect stones and feathers and all sorts of things. So I put it on the table when I get up there. So I did that with that little piece of wood, that little piece of wood. And about 3 or 4, 5 days later, I'm walking along. I walk the dog every morning on the beach, and I'm walking along, and all of a sudden I see another piece of wood, and I go, well, that's ever strange. I said, I saw this piece of wood, and I said, well, is that ever strange? This looks like a goddess or a Greek goddess's body. It's like you can see the top of her gown with the waist and then the long flowing gown. And I thought to myself, I said, well, that looks like a dress, like a body of a goddess. Now where am I going to get a head for that? And of course I walk home, bring it up to the picnic table where I have all my stuff, and I realize, oh my God, I found that a few days earlier. And doesn't that just fit absolutely perfect together? So now I'm going, okay, the meaning of this, I'm being given a message of the goddess energy, okay? And the goddess energy is the feminine energy, the belief in the power of the divine feminine, the intuition, the trusting ourselves, the knowingness, the accepting of the emotion, the accepting of there's magic, accepting that all things are not as they seem. So together with this little sign and getting to read the book, The Myths of Avalon, I started to really plug into that power, that energy. So I'm sitting down on the beach a few days after I find this, and I'm reading the book, The Myths of Avalon, and I'm reading that, but that morning I sat down on the shoreline and I started to write some stories about my grandmother. Now my grandmother and grandfather lived in the cottage beside the one I'm renting, and my grandmother had a love for this Amberley Beach like no other person, and she's the one that took the time with me, that would sit out in the sunshine in the morning and have our tea and toast and listen to the birds and look at the chippies, and she named the birds Jenny Wren. She did all these wonderful magical things that placed in me, in my heart, a love for that land and being in that place, and that being able to be in that still place, that oneness with God. So I'm starting to write about her, and the more I started writing about her, I thought, oh my God, my grandmother really was almost like, and I'm going, she was really the goddess of Amberley Beach, wasn't she? And all of a sudden I look up, and the next thing I know, there's mists all around me. The mist is moving in from the water, all on the beach, and now I can't even see 20 feet in front of me, and there's these people canoeing by, and I'm going, hey, are you guys okay? Like, come into shore, like you could get lost. The mists and the fog are so deep. And she goes, like, oh, I know, we're okay. And they paddled off, and I'm thinking to myself, this is so strange. The sun is shining on me, and I'm completely surrounded by the mists. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm wondering. I'm thinking, yes. And then I wait, and then the message just comes. Your grandmother was the goddess, and she passed that love of the land off and placed it in your heart. And now you're the goddess of the Amberley Beach, and the mists are coming in to surround you. It's magical. So when you are open to this, when you lose that part of or allow that part of your brain that wants to argue with you and say that that's stupid and I'm making that up and how can I jump to that conclusion, I would say to you, get out of your head and get into your heart. Because when you want to open the door to spiritual awareness, when you want to open your heart, you have to suspend that doubt. You have to suspend the critical thinking and come from your heart and allow the magic to come in. Because who cares if it sounds silly. And who cares if you're wrong? Like, oh, how can you prove that you're a goddess, Sandra? How can you prove that this is going on? And I don't have to. That's the whole thing. I don't have to prove that. I know it. I feel it inside me. So I have learned over this journey that no matter what someone's walk, no matter what journey they're on, no matter who they say that they are, or they believe themselves to be, I just go, okay, that's fine. I believe you, because that's who they are in their world. And when we can accept the reality of someone else's world, the reason you can do that is because you accept the reality of your own. And when you make it fun and when you make it magical, the magic just keeps happening over and over and over again. So those were some of the cute little amazing magical moments I had up north this year, and I just want to share that with you.